gives you a little countdown and then
I
says
like
go,
it.
so that you know not to say the bad words
Right. No
before it
swears for a
actually
while.
hits
Yeah, that's
go.
right. Don't swear right yet.
No, that's right. How are you, Jim? Are you going well?
Doing very well. I am. We are
Excellent.
2 weeks from Huntsville Hamfest, so I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got new toys coming tomorrow. Finally, a new 3D printer and an amp. So
An amp.
yeah,
What?
well, it's new and refixed because I
Mm.
busted it the first day I had it.
What band?
What band?
Or is it multi-band amp?
It's multi-band. It's multi-band.
Okay.
I bought a Mercury 3S from the guys in Florida, and I started to do a video on it for my channel to share it. And I'm using an 857, and I've got 5 watts, and I'm all excited because the radio is set to 5 watts, and oh my gosh, I'm getting out 400 watts out. This is awesome. Just imagine what this thing will do if I turn it up to 10 watts. So I'm doing this on all the HF bands, which I had already set to 5 watts before I even plugged it into the amp. Neglecting to remember that on a Yaesu, that power setting is for HF. 6 meters is SSB, and it was at 100 watts. And so I blew 100 watts into an amp that could not handle it.
Yep.
And I smoked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Known as blowing the ass out of the amp is not really that good.
Pretty much.
Oh,
well, and it's not that bad. You get kind of used to it. That's why I stay inside and don't POTA during this summer. And in Huntsville, if you're coming to Huntsville's, especially on the mountain, is a lot cooler. Huntsville is probably 500, 600 feet higher elevation than where I'm at. So it's cooler up there.
Yeah, well, I think you just said about how one tolerates the heat and humidity. Don't go outside. Stay in air conditioning all the time.
Works for me. That's right.
So today we're going to be talking about, and Steve's going to be joining us, I think, at some point, but he's running a little bit late. We're talking about the threats of ham radio, the ham radio bands. And there's quite a bit of stuff going on this particular topic. You spoke about this apparently on your show the other day, you said.
Yeah, last week we talked about it on Ham Church. And apparently it wasn't news when I found out about it, because several people in the chat were like, "Oh, look at that. That's cool with the QR code. I need to do that."
How good's that?
I'm going to steal that. That's so professional.
Scan that. Well, we're professional here.
I mean, I would scan it, but I'm already a member, so
that is true. That is true.
But yeah, I was like, "This kind of sucks." But then you don't know exactly. You look at the size of the 70 centimeter band, and you're like, I don't know, man. You got 5 or 6. What does it go from 438 to 446 or something like that? Oh, it just told us someone scanned the QR code, Hayden.
Mm-hmm. They did.
We're watching. Two-way, people. We know. So, I mean, it's like you got 6 or 8 megahertz of bandwidth. Okay, somebody's going to use part of that for telemetry or something. There's a lot of stuff that already uses 70 centimeter band already. Game controllers, weather stations, just to name 2 of them.
All right, well, so let's start that conversation on 70 centimeters, because I did a video on this the other day, and this is where it sort of all comes from, is the use of that 10 megahertz of spectrum by AST to basically have some telemetry. I think these are backup telemetry links. So this is what they've currently got. They've got 5 commercial satellites running on these frequencies as backup telemetry links. Now, all of these frequencies are all within amateur bands.
Yes.
Tommy says your audio is low. Whose audio is low? And they want 243 further satellites. So I think it's one of those things where, you know how you mentioned we've got gaming controllers and like remote sensors and weather stations and all these things that all operate in 70 centimeter band.
Right.
But they're reasonably range limited, right? Because they're all terrestrial and they're
Very
all
low
very low power.
Mhm.
The problem with this is that these were satellites that will be in low Earth orbit. That 243 of them spread across 10 megahertz. It was something ridiculous. Like, yeah, channel bandwidth will be between 64 kilohertz and 256 kilohertz.
It's
When
pretty
you think
wild.
about that, a channel bandwidth for a normal FM signal, like FM simplex signal,
25, right?
yeah. So you're talking like 2.5 to 10 times the bandwidth, which is crazy, really. I mean, yeah, we need to fight against all of these other issues that are on the band as well. But I think that this one's a big one. And there was a lot of comments on the video that I had that said that, but if you read into it, you see that it's a backup thing and that they're not going to be using them all that much, just as a backup rather than all the time. Like not constant telemetry. But the thing is that once you set a precedent, that's when everyone starts to think it's a free for all. And I think AST probably think it's a bit of a free for all.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The thing is, with amateur bands, that's right. When they pry my amp out of my cold, dead hands. The thing about amateur bands is we're a non-paying customer.
Yes.
And I don't know how you're ever going to win that battle. I can't remember, what is the Australian equivalent of ARRL? You guys
WIA.
WIA.
Who are the oldest amateur radio society in the world as well. Older than the ARRL.
Awesome. I did not know that. The more you know. But you've got those two organizations, and they're the only ones that are going to lobby for this. But to do effective lobbying, you got to have something that the other side is willing to agree to, or that they want. And I don't know that ham radio. I feel like Debbie Downer saying it, but I don't know that ham radio has anything on our side that we can say, is a useful purpose of some of 70 centimeters. I hate it, but I'm just telling you, it is what it is. Don't burn my house down or come at me with pitchforks, bro. Just stating a fact, I think.
So, okay, so that's a good point. With our representation, so there's a couple of things. Like, yeah, we're not paying customers. So someone's having to pay for this at some point. Pay for the spectrum, or at least pay for the profit that's being lost, basically. Now, the amateur radio bands are basically governed internationally by the IARU, who meet at a World Radio Conference every so often. I think they just had one this year. And there was a lot of things that came up. And one of those was, and I was talking, flashed up earlier saying that, there's other bands that are under threat. It's not just 70 centimeters. It's 23 centimeters. Here's a IARU presentation, which is all about 23 centimeters and how they want to operate GPS signals in this band. And a couple of these bands we're secondary users as well as amateurs. And I think that we need to also remember that. We don't have the band. It's not ours. It's not our band. There are some bands like the 2 meter band internationally, I believe, that is primary worldwide. 70 centimeters or parts of 70 centimeters are primary in Europe, but not the US and not Australia. So I think you got to keep that in context to say that, they can't take our bands. Well, they're not our bands to begin with.
Yeah.
We're kind of just sitting in there as secondary users, which is you know, they're always kind of a little bit at risk. But then moving back to what you were saying about what can we do, we've obviously got no matter where you stand, there's always going to be people that think that they're not doing the right thing. But the ARRL and the WIA and the RSGB and the people that are actually, you know, petitioning the FCC all the time for our bans, they're the ones that we need to give support for doing this. And it was quite good that I saw the FCC put out that public consultation for the 70 centimeter ban. I think there was something like 2,000 responses.
2,000 some odd. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
So I think I can view them here.
Out of how many 100,000 hams in the United States?
Well, that's the other thing, is that if you don't fill out, you know, if you don't put in a submission, then you can't really complain when they go and they take the band off of us because you didn't put in one. I can't find it. It's one of these links. Oh, here we go. Total of 2,332. You know, which is still pretty good because when I released my video, which was literally the day before it was due, there was about 700 and something. So at least they got a couple more thousand in. James is right in this regard, but you know, it's a really tricky thing to measure, isn't it? Because whether they're going to sell it to the next highest bidder, which is probably more than what we're paying in our taxes for it.
Right. And B. Willen is also saying, and this is on the internet, so this must be true. I have no idea. The annoying part was the FCC gave permission 10 days before the comment period ended. And I didn't find out about this until like literally last week, the end of last week. And it was already a done deal by then.
Well, it had been a problem for a while. I think it just sort of flew off everyone's radar and no one really noticed it.
Yeah.
The thing too is that AST Space Mobile were going to the FCC to ask them for permission to use the satellites in this band. The FCC they don't control the international amateur radio spectrum. So whilst the satellites, if they're flying over the US, if they approve that, and then once they fly out of US coverage area and into another coverage area, then they have to switch off all of the telemetry links because they're no longer governed by the FCC's rules anymore.
Unless they're geo stationary.
Right. But these are low Earth orbit, so they're going to be doing that.
So they'll be flying.
Yeah. So the other problem was that apparently the existing 5 commercial satellites that they've already got running on these frequencies, which I believe the FCC, I think, did approve them to use, are already causing interference anyway. Or there's been reports of them causing interference anyway. So it's all very messy. It's all very convoluted. But I think one of the things that we need to address is this, and I'm keen to see what you think of this. What do you think? Do we have an underutilization of our amateur bands? I
would say, from my knowledge locally here in the Montgomery area, yeah. We have, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 repeaters, and they're dead as fried chicken most of the time. There's the geezer net in the morning on one of the repeaters. There's 2 guys that get on there and talk about their wife's health problems and stuff every morning. And I think a couple other randos join them every so often. And then there's the going home bunch on another repeater. But that's it. I mean, it's not used a whole lot. I've left my scanner running, monitoring the repeaters with auto record set, and I've gone whole days with no traffic on it. And it's, I mean.
And I
This
think
is
that's
where the commercial thing. This is where the the commercial thing versus the amateur thing comes in. They see all this bandwidth, whatever it is, sitting there being underutilized, and they have a commercial purpose for it. You're always going to lose out. Free is going to lose out to somebody paying the bills. 220. There is no 220 in the Montgomery area, as far as I know. I can't find any. I haven't looked in a while, but there hadn't been any in the last time I looked.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would go with, from my observation, yeah, it's underused. Absolutely.
And I think that's very it's going to be very geographical as well. So
True.
some places, like if you're in a high density area of amateurs,
Right.
and like I'm going to get back to another comment by ADHD Life, because there's an interesting comment which is going to flame everybody. Well, not flame. It's going to add flames to the fire in the chat.
Yay!
But
I love controversy.
There is a small population of the overall population with ham radio, and again, it's an ongoing thing that we're trying to do. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but do you feel like when you're doing YouTube, you feel like that's not what I wanted. Do you feel like it's a bit of an uphill battle? Like you're not making any difference? Are we recruiting new hams? Are we saving the future of the hobby? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure every generation said this, right? Because we've made fun of this before. CW is killing Spark Gap.
Yeah.
SSB is going to kill CW. And CW certainly made a resurgence. I'm sure when the FCC took, speaking for the American side, I'm sure when the FCC took the CW requirement off the ham test, it was like a million souls cried out all at once and were suddenly silenced as they all screamed, "Oh!" because we didn't require CW for being a ham, which is one reason I haven't had my license 30 years ago, because I didn't want to fool with CW. And there was that woman that was involved too. But, I don't know. I mean, I think the ARRL is doing stuff because Good Game and the Teachers Institute is pushing it. It's not a cheap hobby. When a bottom end HF radio is almost $450 or more by the time you get an antenna and everything else, and it goes up from there. But
you don't need a $450 radio.
No, you can get a $30 Baofeng and talk on the repeater. Yes, that's right.
You could. There's a whole bunch of different things. I just want to get back. While you just mentioned the 4-letter acronym, which a lot of people is going to get triggered by. The ADHD Life below says ARRL implies it's best for the US folk to leave it to them. One of the things that I would say about that, and again, I don't advocate to say, because no one's perfect, no organization's can be perfect, but there is a reason why they do that role, is because they have the resources to be able to do that role.
Right.
So if the FCC, if you read back through some of the comments that were made and submitted, a lot of them were just ranting, "Don't take our bands away. I'm just going to be a pirate." Do you reckon the FCC are going to look at that and go, "Oh yeah, we're worried now. We're going to have all these pirates on"? Oh no, of course they're not going to do that. So whilst they still look at the comments that are submitted, there is still an element of weight by such organizations like the ARRL, the WIA, the RSGB, who put in submissions. So that's all I'll say on that. Whether you're a member or not is completely up to you. You might not agree with what they're doing, fine. But there is one thing, is that I know that they travel to the World Radio Conference to discuss the spectrum decisions, the global spectrum decisions. And they do a lot of stuff that we probably don't realize they do. Right. So that's all I'll say.
Well, your comment about the crazy comments, if you can hear the spit hitting the mic when you're reading a comment, that's crazy, right? If you could just picture that guy talking to himself and the spit is flying out of his mouth as he's typing his rant. That
We
guy
get
is
it in the
not helping
YouTube
the
comments all the
situation.
time as
Right,
well.
yeah, YouTube comments. There
Usually
you
it's
go.
the capital letters that give it away.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. The ARRL has the resources way more than Jim does. Number one, I don't have any contacts. You know what? Am I going to drive to Washington on my off day and randomly knock on doors and lobby?
You could.
I mean, I could. This is America. But, you know, they're the ones that have the resources. And maybe we need another organization like the ARRL. On the Freedom Seed Dispenser side, lots of people got chapped at the NRA, and now there's 5 or 6 major Second Amendment advocacy organizations in the United States that are making a huge difference. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, the ARRL is better than nothing. And the same for WIA and whatever the other acronym group you said, which I guess is Britain.
RSGB, yep.
Yeah, RSGB.
And RAC, Canada.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, it is the ARRL, and they're doing what they do, and you like it or not, you get a vote, type up something thoughtful and well-written, use AI if you have trouble not ranting, and, you know, bring your concerns to them. But, I mean, again, at the end of the day, this goes back to what I said earlier. You've got commercial interests, and you've got a bunch of guys freeloading on the frequency bands. You know, I don't know that it's a constitutionally protected right for us to be able to talk on 70 centimeter FM.
So here's a comment from Tom. I'd like some elaboration rather than just these sort of comments that I read. I read these on Facebook all the time saying, "Oh, Toothless Tiger, they're useless." It's like, yeah, but you don't elaborate. Like, what's the problem? We just went through all of and we're talking about the role that they play at places like the World Radio Conference and things like that. So in the context of Spectrum discussions, where are they a toothless tiger? Because they just went to the World Radio Conference and they submitted quite a bit of information related to 23 centimeters, and we came back with a status quo, which means we don't lose the band. I wouldn't say that that is toothless. I would say that they actually went and fought for our spectrum.
Well, the other side of that too, the other issue with that comment, and we love you, I'm not picking on you personally, but if you're going to make a comment in public, we're going to react to it. The other thing is, if you're not supporting them, then you're not helping, period.
Well, I'll move on to the next part about what we can do. So we were talking about, we've already spoke about submit public consultations,
Right.
which we've had quite a few. We had one here recently about CB radio, and a lot of people submitted about that, which was good. So we've already mentioned about doing that for like the AST stuff and the
Right.
FCC stuff. So that's good. Yeah, if you're not, I mean, we're not telling you to sign up to the WIA, the ARRL, the RSGB, etc. I'm just trying to highlight the role that they have in this regard. So you might not agree with it. And again, I still have this this whole thing about, and I think I spoke to you a little bit about this with ham clubs. If you don't agree with how the way things are done, why don't you join it and make the change rather than be the one to just lament it all the time?
Right.
So, you know, if you don't care, that's fine as well. If you don't care about how things are done, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to join anyone. You don't have to do anything. But then don't lament the fact that that we might lose our bands. Don't complain about it. But this is probably the biggest one. Promote the use of the affected bands and don't leave them silent. So there's a lot of the repeaters are silent. So just give a call out. And I love this. I always love getting on a repeater and giving a call out and no one comes back to you. So I call CQ on the repeater and I can guarantee you that someone will come back to you
The band police will have words. They'll have
That's
a
right.
sternly
But who
worded
cares?
response for that.
Who cares? You got it active. So
Right.
so you just keep on going.
I mean,
Right, Ernest. Let's read what Ernest is saying, because he's posting in about the ARRL now. I agree with you, but let me be clear. You can't join the ARRL right now because their website is broken. You can't sign up as a new user. I am sure that there is a contact us on their website, and it would be great to submit your feedback as to the fact that you are unable to sign up, because they may be unaware of that. I know that websites run into these problems, these database problems, these link problems. Maintaining a website is a hard thing. As a thing that you could do is to send them an email and say, hey, can you please, in actual fact, let's look that up right now, and let's see if we can find an email address for you or a contact so that you can have a chat to them and fix that problem, because that would be bad if they can't get new members. Contact ARRL. And they've got all of the various...
and Ernest said he is a
here.
member. He just thinks it's kind of sketchy that you can't join right now via the website.
Yeah.
I believe when they had the big issue with Logbook of the World, I believe Tio and I might have beat this to death, that whoever does their IT thinks Windows 3.11 is super cool.
Well, that's an entirely different stream altogether.
Right.
I'm just pointing this out because this is the logical thing that I would do. Is if I couldn't sign up to something, I would contact them. I wouldn't just give up, because that's not really going to help anyone. So hq@arrl.org. There's their phone numbers if you want to ring them, if you don't know who to ring. Website, here we go. Yeah, hq@arrl.org. We can give, if you have some more, if you have issues with that, then we have some direct contacts. I'm sure that we could reach out to Good Game or someone and tell them, hey, your website's not working. So problem solved. We're all about solving problems here today, aren't we, Jim?
That's it. Number one problem solvers. I got a couple comments highlighted.
Pop them up.
Where did they? Okay, I'm still getting used to this thing. Things
I know.
I'm
getting used to it as well.
Harry.
Harry, how are you? How are you, Harry? I know who Harry is.
Harry, how are you? The problem with that, and I don't disagree with you. I think that would be awesome. Yes, we're going to take away 70 centimeters because it's all commercial, and we're going to give you, 1.25. Okay, most of the radios I have don't do 1.25. Or they're going to give us 4 meters, which is what they have in the UK. We don't have that over here. There's no U.S. made radio that supports 4 meter band. So I don't know. That's kind of the problem with that, and it is a problem. And the 70 centimeter band, and off the top of my head, which is probably wildly inaccurate completely, you have some commercial stuff, a bunch of commercial stuff in 70 centimeters. You have in the United States. I don't know about in Oz. You have public safety in the upper side of 70 centimeters as well. You have a lot of satellite stuff already in 70 centimeters, the ham satellites. So I don't know how that equation fits in how the FCC would parcel out, again, speaking for the United States, how they would parcel out bandwidth. Because we're in, and then the military is in UHF on the low side of, they're below us on some of the stuff they're using, nothing like 300, 350, I'm not 100% sure. So you have military stuff too. There's a lot of people that want it. I don't know. There's literally a money aspect to this thing too, because I don't have equipment that will talk on 4 meters. Except for the 5 people that are around a 220 repeater. Nobody has a 220 radio unless they bought one to say, hey, I got a 3-band radio. Okay, talk to yourself on it. So I don't know, how that equation works out. surely the FCC would consider some of that because it would be a large financial imposition on a lot of hands.
I don't agree with trading frequencies one for the other because
Oh, I don't.
we've already
either.
got we've already got enough. There's already investment as well, heavy investment by people. This is the other thing. I read a comment by someone. I can't remember who it was. It was here on YouTube, but they wrote, "I've been telling people this for 20 years or 30 years since the 1990s that 70 centimeters is a secondary band, and we shouldn't be investing in it. You shouldn't be buying equipment for it." And I'm like, really? I'm like, 30 years worth is actually not too bad. Right. And I'm like, the sky. And the other thing to mention about this whole thing is the sky's not falling yet. Okay, the sky's not falling. We haven't lost 70 centimeters yet. Okay. So it'd be interesting to see what decision comes out of this. And it's probably going to be like a whole bunch of these other bans and attempts at the bans, like the HF marketing. What was that? The trader marketing thing where they wanted to put all of those stations on the HF bands.
Yeah.
And all of these other ones previous, they've sort of, some of them have taken small little slices of spectrum, which are mainly up in the higher gigahertz band because they're the ones that are more useful for mobile operators and internet companies and things like that. But as far as some of the other bands, we haven't really had too many issues with those guys.
All right, I can't stay for long. I'm going to get yelled at if she finds out I'm here.
Uh-oh.
All right, see you then.
Y'all going out to Olive Garden tonight?
Yep, that's the plan.
Steve is a big spender when it comes to Mrs. T.O. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Nothing but the best. Olive Garden, I mean, for me, it would be, Bottom Ramen Noodle Company.
And I want extra breadsticks.
Yes, keep them coming.
TC Fitz, thank you for the 762 super chat.
I'm not sure if you've been following along with the stream, Tio, but give us your thoughts.
I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed.
I'm not allowed.
Give us your thoughts.
Well, we're doing the whole use it or lose it thing. We're talking about losing ham bands because bigger pockets prevail and have bigger lobbyists and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the thing. We didn't make good use of it, so it's gone.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, we've got to the part of the stream where the sky is falling. So what can we do? What's the practical? We're all about solutions here at Ham Radio Nonsense. We're not about complaints. We're about solutions.
This is the no nonsense show.
No
yeah.
Nonsense.
Right. So did
what does
didn't we
Arnold
miss
say? Stop whining.
Yeah. Didn't we miss the comment period when we could have said something about it?
We did.
So
because when I found out about it, it was already a done deal.
Yeah.
I think it's skipped over someone's radar a lot. But what should we do? We were saying promote the use of the bands. Get on 70 centimeters. Everyone should get on 70 centimeters.
Right. I mean, so is it officially gone, or is it still on notice?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we should use it. The most popular repeater here in the Montrose area is a 70 centimeter repeater. So, I mean, it is in use. I actually am part of a club that maintains a 70 centimeter repeater in Wisconsin.
Steve is a member of about 27 clubs in 13 different states, I think.
We started linking our repeaters together using All-Star-Link to increase the coverage and increase the activity, and that has worked really well because now we have a state-based linking system which anyone can join into as well. You've joined into it. You've called, and I've spoken to you on it.
I have, and I know that there is a way that you could very easily make an all-star radio with a printed circuit board that you can get at hamradiodx.net.
Look at the segue.
That
what
was
a smooth segue.
Smooth
no one noticed
as Linus doing his segues.
No one noticed it at all.
Right? You can also get them if you're in the US at temporarylyoffline.com.
One of these two bad boys at temporaryoffline.com or hamradiotx.com/shop.
Shop. Is that with two P's and an E?
Shop. It should be two P's. Yes. Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go. You go.
Well, the other comment, and Lee mentioned this. Again, you just keep pushing. You don't stop.
You
know?
cannot hide. You can't stay under the radar. You stay under the radar, they forget you exist.
And bailing out is not going to solve anything. And it's not going to be an overnight win, Lee. And I vaguely know what you're talking about, I think, at least the stories I've heard. But I'm doing what I can to support. I support 5 different 2A groups. It's not going to stop all the stupidity. I support 2 different animal shelters. They're not running out of clients anytime soon. You know, I support the ARRL. It is what it is. I'm doing what I can. I don't have the time or resources personally to advocate for any of those things, but I'm giving money to organizations
That's
that
the whole
do.
point of lobbying
Yeah,
groups.
that's what they do. And there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. If you want them to advocate for you, they got to pay the bills too. They got to keep the lights on. And I'm not trying to defend, foolishness at the ARRL. I don't know, but that's what the organization is for. And without them, we'd have way less than we got now.
Yeah. Who else is going to
That's
speak
right.
for us?
I think it's the same. We have it's not perfect. There's good bits about the league. There's bad bits about the league.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Humans are involved.
Yeah, and humans suck.
Pretty much.
However, one thing.
Except for you guys. Except for you guys.
You guys don't. Otherwise, they're a bunch of jerks.
I think one thing that
we are awesome.
One of the things that we can do to make a difference is this, and I think they do this very well. And this is not just necessarily because we're friends with Good Game, with Steve, but the outreach stuff that they're doing at the moment is really good with the kids, with the schools, with the STEM training and all that sort of stuff. So that's one good thing that they're doing, and we need to do more of this individually ourselves within our own clubs. We rather than just, or not even our own clubs, just ourselves, rather than leaving it up to the big dogs to do it all the time.
We're talking. I said I don't have the time or resources to advocate for HF or ham radio, but that's not entirely true. I think.
We're doing it on YouTube, aren't you?
We're doing it on YouTube. And now, if you look at all the subscribers for all the YouTube channels, I mean, there's a lot of overlap, but easily north of 150 to 200,000 subscribers between all the very large ham channels, and I'm including British and VK channels, as well as American ham channels. There's some very large ones, north of 50, 60,000 subscribers apiece. And I don't know, Hayden, if your base is mostly Australian or mix and match.
It's US.
Is it?
It's like half US.
But my where I'm going with that is that's something that we as YouTubers could do, is organize advocacy and maybe try to hold the ARRL's feet to the fire on some issues. But it requires support from every one of you. We can post a open letter online and vetch about it on random streams. Hayden's got 148 people on his stream. I had about 120 this morning. He's way more big time than me. Tio has about 150, 180 on his usually. But I mean, we need your support too. And it might be something we could look at doing. And I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but
Ham DeLorean puts an interesting comment in here.
All right, she's coming back. I gotta go.
Go with God, my son.
Godspeed. That usually means something bad's going to happen, doesn't
it?
Right. Digital hotspots ultimately kill 70 centimeters. Well, first of all, 70 centimeters has not been killed. Let's just say that there's an overreaction going on there.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't exactly utilizing the repeaters. The repeaters are only a small portion of how the band is being utilized, because you've got weak signal SSB, CW, you've got digital, you've got amateur television, you've got all modes that you can ever think of. you've got all of the different hotspots. And if you've got lots and lots of digital hotspots, then ultimately I would say if you've got more activity on your hotspots, even if it's just in your own house, you're actually using 70 centimeters more than it was before. So ultimately, I think it's the other way around. I think that we've got more gateways and more hotspots than you can poke a stick at. So isn't that helping the band? I think that that's probably just looking at the picture from a repeater aspect.
That's a
rather
good
than-
point. That's a really
rather
good
than
point.
others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and,
Um,
and you also, again, I mentioned this earlier, you have satellite use. All the ham sats are generally downlinking on 70 and uplinking on 2
And
meters.
it's very hard to get them to move.
Yeah.
Just-
I paid $3 million for a satellite, and you want me to change frequencies and launch a new satellite? No. And that's kind of what I was mentioning about there's a commercial aspect to that. I can't see the powers that be, just arbitrarily saying 70 centimeters is closed for commercial use now, and you guys can't use it.
Yeah. That's the other thing too with these kind of proposals. I think that it's unlikely that they're going to just shut everyone out.
Right.
It's more likely going to be you got to use it, but you got to get used to that you might get some interference, which is stuff that we've dealt with before. And I've just been showing some popping up there, some questions that we need to ask ourselves about how we can do more and also what would motivate us to use these underutilized bands. So I did a post, and I'll show this post real quickly because I posted it on my channel and some of you may have already seen it. Because this is the thing, I get really passionate about this kind of stuff because amateur radio is a big part of my life. I don't know about you, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people I don't think are as passionate, and they're just kind of a little bit like, whatever, she'll be right. So this is the post that I made, and it was about operating on the 3.4 gigahertz band. So the 3.4 gigahertz band is a rather interesting one to experiment with. And it was under threat a few years ago. When I say a few, like 6-7 years ago. And we did lose a small portion of the band, but we still have something like, off the top of my head, is it 50, 60 megahertz? Someone in the chat will know. We got heaps and heaps of spectrum, right? So rather than, I spoke to a few people, I'm like, we should get on the 3.4 gig band. And they're like, we might lose it. We're going to have to invest in, if we invest in that, then, it's a bad investment because we're going to lose out, Right. Here we are 6 or 7 years later. We're still going. We still have spectrum on this band. And I purchased all this equipment and inside this box, and I've done a video about how I've put this all together and built it all up. Here's another setup on 2.4 gigahertz. And so rather than just saying, no, I'm not going to get on that band, I actually got equipment, and now I think we have, and I was trying to work out how many we have. I think we've got about 10 to 15 just in my city alone, in my area alone, on 3.4.
Because you've been pushing it.
Well, not necessarily because
advocating for it.
Well, not necessarily because I've been pushing for it, but because I got on the band, started playing, then someone else did, and then someone else did, and I wasn't the first one on this band by any stretch, but there was a few others, and then I learnt from them, and I put it, and then all of a sudden we developed this subgroup, and then all around Australia there were people that were getting on this band finally, and there was access to gear, and we put all the gear together, and it was good fun to put it all together. So I think that we just need to just take a step back every now and then and just be like, okay, how can I fix this problem? Maybe I should start getting more active on the band and utilizing the underused bands a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. I'm guilty.
Just my thought.
I don't
Just
get on
my
the
thought.
local repeaters at all. I have 2 freaking radios in my truck. One is set to APRS and Toads Digital. The other is set to All-Star and VHF Call. And I'm usually listening to an audiobook when I'm driving to work and back every day. So the radio's turned down
I'm-
at the very least.
I'm
Mea
usually
culpa.
I'm usually listening to music, and I don't have a very long commute. But I always try and even if it's a 2-minute drive down the road to the grocery store or something, I'll still put out a call and have a very quick conversation with somebody. Because if everyone did that, then the bands would appear like they're being used a lot more. I think that the perception that they're not being used as much does vary upon what band you're using. So like the VHF and UHF ones and the repeaters is an easy one because it's an easy target to thing. But if I go on HF, especially if I go on 20 meters of an afternoon, especially now at the moment, I can't find a frequency that's clear. It's just absolutely wall to wall signals everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, yeah, we need to consider that. Here's another comment about anyone aside from Good Game for an interview.
Minster has been on a couple of channels, I think.
I've had him on. I've had him on before. I haven't had him on for a while. But yeah, there's a few. There's a few on there. And hey, if you want me to get David on, I can always ask him.
Yep. I don't know David. I've never talked to David.
But this is the thing and this is the thing that needs to be also taken into account, that if we get someone like David to come on, we don't want it to turn it into a flame war. It's not going to be pitchforks throwing things.
It ain't going to be Maury Povich.
No. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think I do.
We have determined that the baby is not yours.
Oh, okay.
With his girlfriend on, Ham Till It Hurts. Old Scott has a question that I thought was pretty good. I think there is a 70 centimeter APRS frequency. I couldn't tell you what it is right now.
There is here.
But it is primarily, everybody uses it on 2 meters.
One of the things actually that would be interesting, and I need to look at installing some infrastructure for it, is 6 meters APRS.
Okay.
That would be really cool.
See, and you got to wonder about 6 meters. Both of my antenna setups look good for 6 meters. I have made like maybe 5 FT8 contacts ever on 6 meters. I try, and I've never made a sideband contact on 6 meters.
Mm-hmm. You haven't been there the right time, but anyway.
I apparently, and I don't think 6 meters likes Alabama. Dang old Chuck, California Chuck, KK6USY.
The 6 meter god.
He said, yeah, he's always on 6 meters, for crying out loud. I'm like, damn it. It don't reach in Alabama.
When are you trying? You trying at the right times?
Whenever I get a chance.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well,
I mean, usually it's going to be a weekend during the day or something like that, or at night.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I have a theory, and it may be wrong. It may be completely off. So I think that amateur radio activity is proportional to the time of the day of the week and the time of the week.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've noticed, especially on 6 meters, I've noticed the amount of times the band is closed during the week is amazing. But as soon as it gets to Saturday morning here, which is your Friday evening over there, I will hear Mexico, and sometimes I'll hear not California, I'll hear Arizona and other places like that, because it's Friday evening over there and it's Saturday morning over here. It's because you've got people that are actually active and they're on the radio at that time rather than during the week.
And yes, I always see you on 6 meters. I can't talk to you because it doesn't reach in Alabama, but there you go.
What antenna have you got?
DX Commander.
Well, okay.
I've got a classic, which is on the flex, and then my backup, my side chick is a Rapide, a DX Commander Rapide that's on this ICOM 7200 at this time. And that's where the Mercury amp is going, is on the 7200 right here in the house shack.
Can I give you an idea?
I would
to
love
do.
to put up a multi-band beam, Hayden.
No. That's
Oh,
not the
okay.
idea. That's not
Okay.
the idea. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. My computer is going so slow.
N0CKL. See, that's why Chuck is always on 6 meters. Old man don't have a job. All he's got to do is keep Kathy from yelling at him, and that's his job.
If you
Probably
go
right.
to my my video here, how do I turn off my? I don't want to show
Oh,
my
I
name.
think I saw
Anyway,
that.
yeah. So you can build this out of some RG58,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a vertical. So you can put it. Here we go. Here's a good one. Oh, look, these are. Jesus,
Look at those gams.
Look at that. You can put this on a squid pole and just hang it from a squid pole.
Okay.
Just try this out. Build it up. Make a video of it because then you can get upload it to YouTube and build it and see how that goes for you.
Yeah, I did watch that, and then I remember going, oh, and he's making a coil, and I'd have
Oh,
to
the
go
coil's easy.
I'd have to go to the hardware store and convert Australian measurements to Merck in English, and
You need to
No.
you need to also not skip leg day as well
Yeah.
when you do this.
I mean, maybe
don't
get
look
out in
like
the
that
sun a
anymore.
little more with those legs too. I can't talk, but yeah, I need to do that. That's a good plan, Hayden.
It'd just be interesting compared to the DX Commander because you'd get it a little bit higher off the ground.
Mhm. Yeah,
It'd be a half wave and not a quarter wave.
right.
And especially now because you're middle of summer now?
Yes.
Yeah. You may have missed the peak of sporadic E, but you might still get a few things on 6 at this time of year. So there's obviously still stuff happening because there's quite a lot happening out of New York, I think, at the moment. I didn't see on the map where it was. Anyway, just an
Yeah, I
idea.
think it was in the Northeast.
Just an idea.
I need to go back and look at that video. You've actually inspired me, Hayden. See, Hayden is reaching out to the ham community right now. And he's got me fired up to make a 6 meter vertical antenna.
I haven't inspired you. I just told you what to do.
Same difference.
Is it?
I require positive motivation. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I could do that, or I could sit here and watch YouTube videos.
Which is kicking the pants.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to some comments here.
And
Tim,
Tom,
I agree.
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Tom.
sorry.
Oh,
Tim, I
no,
agree.
Yes, Tim, I agree. Absolutely. Tom,
Sorry, Tom.
that's a very interesting point.
Oh, yeah.
3D printed former instead of going and buying PVC. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Then that would be cool because then you could slot the RG58 into the
Yep.
into the thing. So, just reading a few things.
Let's not get crazy. You calm down. This is Sunday evening church
This is that's right.
or Monday morning church if you're in Oz.
Yeah. Yep. Church after dark.
Church after dark.
That doesn't sound very good, does it?
That's probably a porn channel somewhere.
Yeah. See, Kim, this is the thing is I haven't I've still got little goals and actually let me hold on a sec.
Little what?
Hold on. This here is my QSL card for my first ever 6 meter contact to the US. It was a goal
Sweet.
of mine. It was on FT8. So he sent me a QSL card. Jackson, it was really good. A couple of years ago on FT8. It happened out of the blue. I think I was on stream with Jason with 2.0, I think at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on some really early stream. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning here and managed to make contact. So I treasure that QSL card and treasure that contact. But then now my next goal is I want to do a phone contact to the US. So
You haven't done, I thought you have.
not SSB. I haven't done
Okay.
SSB. I've done SSB. The furthest I've done SSB is the not Cook Islands, not Solomon Islands.
Marianas?
No, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna have to bring up Google Maps. E51WL. That's the call sign. Where's that? E51WL.
I don't know.
Are
Are you looking, or should I be Googling instead?
North
of
Cook Islands. It was the Cook Islands. I was right.
Cook Islands. Okay.
Cook Islands. But yeah, I don't think I've done SSB to Hawaii, so that doesn't count either. So, but 50 decimal, at least here, 50.110 is the calling frequency. I think it's the same over there.
Greg is saying 51:45 every morning. The problem is that if that's Central Time, which is what I think he's saying, I'm at work, and it would be awkward.
You can access your Flex from work, can't you?
Oh yeah, I absolutely do. But
Just
I
put
can
your headphones on.
I can play FT8. My boss would think it's some kind of network security tool I'm using. I believe I've actually shared that that's what it is before. But I will check that out. I will add that in and see if I can pick
Amen.
it up. I think he might be an apostate from Sunday morning church now. And Lee said Lonnie Anderson passed away today.
I just want to point out this comment. I don't want to tie up the repeater. I hear this as well, and I just say, why not? Talk all day if you want to. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just use the repeater. Because if you're tying up that repeater, guess what? Someone can move to the other repeater that is also in range. I think you said, what did you say? There's like 5 UHF repeaters around or something?
There's 5 or 6. I can't keep up with them. And again, I'm very guilty of not even having them tuned in any of the radios for the last 2 or 3 years. Because I honestly got tired of it. T.O. and I have a confession to make, and I'm going to confess for T.O. as well. I don't like talking to people that much.
Confession time.
It is. I'm in church. This is the place to do it. So, Father Hayden, I must have a confession. I'm in a hobby about communication, and I hate talking to people because they'll tell me about their health problems or the weather somewhere, and I'm like, it's awkward for me. Well, like
Someone
FT8.
asked,
I don't have to talk to anybody.
Someone asked in the comments about what the weather was like here. It happens in YouTube land as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
5125. So is 125 the domestic SSB calling frequency? We usually use 110 here, and I thought that was the international one. 52525 definitely is the FM one here. So that's good. FM repeaters on 6 meters are fun as well when that happens. So we have, do you know where, I'll do a little bit of a geography lesson because we've got the screen open here. So my repeater's down here on 6 meters. We always hear stations up here in Brisbane using it because they've got a repeater on the exact same frequency. And
how far is that from you?
2,000 kilometers, 1,800 kilometers. What's that in miles? Like 1,200 miles or something?
Yeah,
1,100 miles.
1,200 miles.
So they have a net every Friday night. So usually Friday nights in summer, we'll hear them coming through on our repeater because they're doubling it at the same time. So it's pretty cool. Greg wants to tell you about his bunion.
No. Yeah. I don't know what the solution is. I mean, this is and just FYI, dinner is coming home. So when I get notified that dinner has landed, I'm out too.
Yeah. No, we're wrapping up now. I think that thanks, Jim. Appreciate you that. Yeah, I think the main thing is we just need to, collectively we can all do a little bit better, and we can all help out in all of our different ways. Doesn't necessarily mean joining organizations or, doing all of that sort of stuff. But if we're just getting on the radio, being a little bit more radioactive, it all helps definitely. So, see, someone might react. See, someone's going to do that now.
I can barely call CQ on CW still, so.
Oh, very good. Well, good discussion. Hopefully that has helped some people. Well, not helped some people, but hopefully that has inspired some people. to be aware of what we've got and to not take it for granted too much. And just before we close off, if you do want to support this show, you can become a member. We've been flashing up there's the 2 QR codes if you're interested.
So
you
fancy.
can. This
You're
is
so
this
fancy.
is just, I know. So if you do sign up, we really do appreciate it, and it helps us to continue doing shows like this if you enjoyed it. So thanks, Jim.
Always.
As always,
Great
thanks
time.
thanks T.O. who dropped in while he could,
Slug.
while
He's
the
a
missus
slug.
was in the shop. And
He's a slug.
And we'll catch you next week for another themed live stream. What have you got coming up this week? Have you got
T.O.
any?
slid in here, dropped a commercial, and then he slid out. That was all he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, just before I do wrap it up, I did have a question that popped up in the chat that I forgot to.
There were some good comments
show.
in the chat. I think we missed some of them too. But
Yeah, we definitely did. N0CKL says, when is the video coming to create calibration beacon for Leo Bodner calibration? That's for the IC 9700. We did that on, I think, we did a stream for you for your 9700 to fix that.
yeah, you had done a video on it a long time ago, and then I bought that stuff because I was influenced by you. You are a big time influencer.
So I've got a video coming this week on another unit for Leo Bodner calibration. So I can probably add something into that video, but there is another video which is already done that shows this, which I think it was a live stream we did.
I don't remember. I know. Yeah, I think it was. I believe you're right.
Yeah. So have a look. I'm pretty sure just if you search for 9700 on my channel, it'll be actually. Let me just bring it up real quick.
Was it on
you
your
don't have
channel or mine?
I can't remember if it was on yours or mine. I'll find it real quick because it is. No, it must have been on your channel.
Okay.
Anyway, it's on there. So
FEP Labs Radio.
yeah. If you can find a link to it, anyway,
Let me see.
let us know. Leave a comment somewhere on this video, and we'll link you to it. So all good. Thanks, Jim. Thanks all. See you guys next week.
Great stream as always, Hayden. Appreciate it.
73s.
Did you
Is it
hear
70
that Steve?
Is it 70? Is it